Is WWE's Netflix deal already falling apart? Triple H reportedly furious over shocking ratings drop. There is some absolutely wild speculation going around in the wrestling community today following shocking news about WWE's viewership for Monday Night Raw's Netflix episode this week. It seems WWE might already be facing a massive problem with this brand new Netflix deal. Reports suggest that Triple H is reportedly furious with how things are developing behind the scenes. And honestly, it feels like a lot of fans saw this coming from a mile away. When the WWE Netflix partnership was first announced, it sparked major debate among fans. Some felt it could be revolutionary, bringing wrestling to a new global audience, while others believed it was a risky move that could backfire. And now, just weeks into this historic deal, those fears are beginning to feel very real. Could this partnership be heading for a premature end? Could Netflix actually pull the plug on WWE sooner than anyone expected? Let's dive into everything we know so far, including why this deal is already in trouble, the shocking viewership numbers, and why some insiders are convinced Netflix may cut ties with WWE sooner rather than later. A hot start that's losing steam. When the Monday Night Raw Netflix debut aired on January 6th, it seemed like a major success. The premiere episode pulled in a staggering 5.9 million viewers globally, which was a huge win for WWE and Netflix. In fact, sources reveal that Netflix officials were initially thrilled by the debut's performance. There were concerns behind the scenes about how WWE would transition to a streaming platform, but this kind of viewership temporarily put those doubts to rest. But here's the kicker. While that number might look impressive at first glance, it's clear that the debut episode's success wasn't sustainable. Why? Because WWE pulled out all the stops to promote that episode. Fans couldn't go 5 minutes without seeing an ad hyping the Raw Netflix premiere. WWE treated this episode like a mini pay-per-view, stacking the card with blockbuster matches and hyped moments. They promoted Roman Reigns facing Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match, CM Punk battling Seth Rollins in the main event, and even Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. Throw in the return of several fan-favorite superstars, and it's no surprise that curiosity from fans, and even non-fans, helped drive those numbers. But the problem is obvious. This kind of viewership spike was never going to last. And now, the numbers tell a very different story. The massive ratings decline. Just 1 week after that highly promoted premiere, the January 13th episode of Raw on Netflix saw a jaw-dropping 37% drop in viewership, bringing the total down to 3.7 million global viewers. That's a staggering loss of 2.2 million viewers in just 7 days. It's important to note that Netflix measures global viewership over 7 days, which gives a broader perspective than traditional same-day US ratings on cable. But even with this advantage, the numbers are bleak. Analysts believe the January 20th episode, which aired this week, will show yet another decline once the final viewership report is released. And here's the kicker. While some fans argue that 3.7 million viewers is still a decent number, especially compared to Raw's performance on the USA Network, that argument falls apart when you dive into the details. WWE was drawing similar, if not better, numbers on cable, with far less global exposure and promotion. This isn't the upward trend WWE and Netflix were hoping for. Why the deal is struggling? So what's going wrong? Why is Raw losing so many viewers on Netflix after such a strong start? First, it's clear that WWE overhyped the debut episode to the point where it created unrealistic expectations. Fans tuned in out of curiosity and to see the pay-per-view level matches that WWE promoted. But once the premiere was over, it became just another episode of Monday Night Raw. The excitement wore off, and fans realized that moving to Netflix didn't fundamentally change the product. Second, many fans, particularly older, longtime viewers, are struggling to adjust to streaming. Unlike cable TV, where you can easily flip channels, Netflix requires a subscription and deliberate effort to watch. Some fans simply aren't willing to make that leap. Third, the backlash from fans when this deal was first announced can't be ignored. Many were vocal about their dissatisfaction with WWE leaving cable TV, and those feelings haven't gone away. In fact, some fans have reportedly chosen to skip Raw on Netflix entirely, opting to watch highlights on WWE's YouTube channel instead. Netflix officials are reportedly concerned behind the scenes. The situation appears to be even more tense. According to insiders, Netflix executives are not happy with how quickly viewership has dropped. While the company hasn't made any public statements criticizing WWE, there are rumors that some high-ranking officials believe the deal might not have been worth the investment. Shockingly, there's even speculation that Netflix was disappointed with the premiere numbers, despite the 5.9 million viewers. Some within Netflix reportedly expected Raw to rival the kind of viewership pulled by major live events, like Jake Paul's fight against Mike Tyson. That's a wildly unrealistic expectation, but it speaks to how high Netflix's hopes were for this partnership and how far short WWE is falling of those expectations. Triple H is reportedly furious. If you're wondering how WWE leadership is reacting to all this, the answer is clear. Not well. Sources close to the situation have revealed that Triple H is furious about the way this deal is unfolding. Hunter reportedly anticipated a ratings dip after the premiere. He knew the first episode would draw huge numbers thanks to the hype, but he also believed viewership would stabilize at a strong level in the following weeks. Now, with viewership falling off a cliff, Triple H is reportedly scrambling to reassure Netflix executives that this is just a temporary slump. Hunter is said to be making the case that ratings will pick back up after the Royal Rumble, as WWE heads into WrestleMania season. He's emphasizing that this time of year is always slower for wrestling viewership and that Netflix shouldn't panic. But here's the problem. Netflix has a reputation for canceling shows and deals quickly if they don't meet expectations. And with an opt-out clause in the WWE Netflix contract after 5 years, there's already concern that Netflix might be rethinking this partnership. What happens next? So what's the long-term outlook for WWE on Netflix? Unfortunately, it's not looking good. While the deal is officially set to last 10 years, the 5-year opt-out clause means Netflix could walk away much sooner. If that happens, WWE would likely be forced to move Monday Night Raw back to cable television. While some fans might welcome that change, it would represent a major setback for WWE's efforts to modernize and reach a global audience through streaming. At this point, it's clear that WWE and Netflix both underestimated how difficult this transition would be. Wrestling is a unique product, and it doesn't always fit neatly into the streaming model. Unless something changes drastically, this partnership could go down as one of the most short-lived and controversial moves in WWE history. Final thoughts. The speculation surrounding WWE's Netflix deal is heating up, and it's not hard to see why. With viewership plummeting just weeks into this partnership, both companies are facing tough questions about whether this was the right move. Triple H is doing everything he can to steady the ship, but unless WWE can turn things around quickly, Netflix might decide to cut ties. And that could have massive implications for the future of Monday Night Raw. What do you think about all this? Will WWE be able to save their deal with Netflix? Or is this partnership doomed from the start? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to WWE Insider Report for more breaking wrestling news.